Hello, hello. I know I popped on a couple minutes early to get you guys the notification. So if you're watching the replay, just fast forward a little bit. I am just logging onto my computer so I can see the comments. So you're probably wondering what we could possibly be making. I have crumpled up paper, a bubbled envelope that I cut apart so I can have the bubble wrap because I didn't have any. We have a couple different type stencils here we're going to be working with. And then I have some vinyl that we're going to put on the project once it dries. So we're gonna do some fun projects, a fun project with it today. There we go. Oh, and then the main thing is I just have a canvas sheet. It just kind of looks like this. And I'm just using that as my surface today. And then I probably will frame it. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get started. You're going to need white paint. I have two different colors of blue. I have a lighter color and a darker color. Same with red. I have a light and then a darker color. And then I have a light and a dark color of yellows. And then of course I have my gold paint as well, so we'll see what we end up using. So first off, we're going to paint the whole canvas, or at least most of it, with white. And all I'm using is my 3/4 flat brush. So I'm just going to start at the bottom. And I'm going to paint about halfway up the side. And I want this to be fairly thin. I don't want it real heavy of paint. And I'm just going all the way across. So I am not a painter. I don't have training, any type of training. I'm self-taught on all my crafts and hobbies that I do. And I just watch different videos and try it myself. Now I'm going to go up. So I did the bottom half, and now I just want to do half on the top half as white. We're going to leave the other half so we can paint it blue. So we're just going to keep painting. So if you haven't figured out with the color choices that I have, we are making a flag. It's going to be kind of an abstract type flag. And then I'm going to use the lighter of the blue. So as you guys probably noticed, there's a spot for stars now. A lot of people don't know about stars or what they are. I will do a video and pin it at the top. But what it is, it's just a way to support me and be able to come on and keep doing all these different painting projects with you. Let's see. So I'm just painting down to paint in the blue, and it does not have to be perfect by any means. The lines don't have to be straight. It just has to be, like I said, it's going to be abstract by the time we're done with it. So what I plan on doing, I want to be able to come on here twice a week and be able to paint with you. If there's something you want to see or learn how to do, let me know. And I can see what I can come up with. So as you see, I'll hold it up here in just a second. The white wasn't quite dry, and so it kind of bled into the blue, which is okay. It gives it texture, dimension. I'm just making sure I don't have no big lumpies on the side. So this is what we have so far. Just blue square, blue rectangle. Like I said, this is something that the kids can do. I know my grandkids would love to do this project. Okay. Let me wash my brushes. I'll also be making a post later on, probably next week, to let everybody know the different places you can follow me. I am on YouTube. We do, that's where we're going to put our wood tutorials, because it makes it a little harder to show those on here. And then we're also on Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, different things, different places like that. So I'll be posting where you can find us there. We also have a blog that we give different tips and tricks and stuff. Okay, so just trying to see where I'm going to take, it is a country red. It's one of my favorite reds to be using. And so we're going to draw our lines, and I'm just using the width of my paintbrush to make the lines. But I'm going to start underneath the blue, and I know I want a white space. A white line doesn't go all the way across first. So I'm just getting some paint on my brush. I'm going to kind of hold it so I can see. And then I'm going to put down for the red, and I'm just going to, you can use a ruler and draw your lines in first. I'm just freehanding it. I'm just gonna go all the way across. If it does not have to be perfect and have it all covered in, it's okay if it don't. Get some more paint. I'm gonna lay my paintbrush down, mark it, and then move it across so I can do my next line. And the white is still a little wet, and so it kind of gives some dimension to the line. We're going to do that one more time. Whoops. Just go all the way across. And I am okay with it not filling all the way in. It's going to be a distressed type look by the time we're done with it. You could use any color of reds and blues that you may like. So now I'm going to start right at the corner and just kind of dab my brush and then pull it across. Now I'm going to do the same thing as I was doing across the bottom, going up the top. Just kind of see where the white would be and then flip my brush over. And that's where to go for the red. And then we'll do one more. Across the top. Okay. So now we have a flag. And we'll let that dry here for a minute. You could do this on wood. You can do it on a frame canvas. You can do it on paper. So I also have some sponges that we're going to be using. I have a stencil brush, and then I have a clip that has an alligator clip on it that I can put these pom-poms, and we're going to use those to make some designs on here. Okay, I think I'm going to use the blow dryer to speed up the drying time. Okay, so the blue is dry, so we'll go to the next. So we know we want some stars in there. So I have a stencil It came from Stampin' Up! Back in the day. And so we're going to use the stencil to help place different sizes of hearts on, or not hearts, stars on here. And I'm using this stencil brush and I'm just kind of tapping it in there. I want it covered, but it don't have to be 100% covered. I wanted to make sure it looks like a star. And we'll place a couple of them around in here. I'm using the bigger star. I think I'm going to put one right there. I wanted to have a distressed type look, so that's why I'm not caring if it's in 100%. And then this also has some smaller stars right here together. So I'm gonna lay them kind of on the side of, so it's like they're coming in from the side of the picture. If you think this is something that you would like to do, we could do it as a paint party. We can do it as a virtual paint party if you're not local. Let's see, I'm going to add a few more little stars in here. I'm not going to cover the whole blue rectangle with stars. And then I also made a star template, or stencil, off my Cricut. So the nice thing about this design is, you know, you can use anything that you have. You could even take and make you can freehand the stars if you want to freehand them. You can, cut them out of cardboard and use that as a template. You can even use it as a stamp. You know, the cardboard. You cut it out and then you paint the back, push it down on your paper. I think I want one more down in there. Okay, we'll leave it like that for right now. And then I do want some stars. I want yellow. We're gonna go with the yellow stars. And I think I'm going to bring them down here in this one corner. And I don't want these very bright. So I'm going to dab in my paint and then dab most of it off on the paper over here. Because I don't want them very, very bright. And I'm not filling it in 100%. Oh, that's cute. Okay. While we let those dry, I'm going to take some of the darker blue and the darker red. to help give some dimension to the stripes. And I'm just going to take a small brush. I'm going to dip it in, but I'm going to wipe it off so there's hardly any paint on it. And we're just going to rub it along the sides. To help give some depth into that blue and then the red stripes. Do the same thing with the red. I'm just going to dip it in and then brush it off. So there's hardly any on my brush. It's just giving the stripes like I said, some texture. It's very faint, but just enough. And I like to do it a little more on the edges. To darken them up just a tad bit. I know you guys are probably thinking, now these aren't things that I typically paint and show, but they're fun to make, fun to do. I still have the red on my brush, and I just went over the blue just a little bit. Okay, so let's see. Let's get into some fun things now. So I have, like I said, some bubble wrap. And we're just going to take our brush. I'm going to put some blue on here. And I'm just going to paint on there. I'm going to do it heavier in the middle. And then fan it out the sides. And we're going to take, we're just going to push it down onto our paper. Do some over here. So you can see the abstract that we're going for. Without even washing it, we're just gonna, I'm gonna add some white to it. A little more. And so it's mixing in with that blue, so it's giving it a different blue. So I'm gonna go right over the blue and the stripes. And you can now see them. So now we're going to add some red into there. And just push it on. If you don't have bubble wrap, you could use some crinkled up paper. Just take an old piece of paper, crinkle it up. I'm going to dip it in the paint and then just kind of blot it off. And then you can dab it, you know, around. Let's add some red dab here. Then I also got a stencil that I made on the Cricut machine with fireworks. So I thought that I would do that in some, we'll do it in a yellow. I didn't know if I wanted the gold or the yellow, but I'm just going to dab it on there. And I'm not worrying if I'm getting it 100% like I would if it was a different project. We're just dabbing it on. You could also use a stencil brush, this type brush, but because I have it already with white, I don't want to wash it until I'm ready to be done, because it won't give the full effect what it needs to do. Okay. Pull that up. Well, that's kind of cool. We'll put another one, I think, up here. You can have it so it's falling off the design. And all I'm doing is a pouncing motion. I'm going up and down to get up into the grooves of this little stencil. Then I'm going to take a brush, a clean brush, have it a little wet. Let me see. Nice thing with paint, if you don't like it, you can always paint over it, fix it later. Thinking, let me see. Well, I don't know. Let's put the, I have the Pledge of Allegiance in vinyl that I'm going to put on here. So my brush has a little bit of red paint, not much. I'm just trying to tone down some of the white areas. Okay, I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. Let me clean my brushes here, and then I'll pull out the vinyl. So I think on Tuesday, when I come on again, we will be painting a gnome. I will show you how I paint one style of my gnomes. I have a couple different styles. This one will be hand painted with no template. I'll just show you how it can be done easily with no tracer. This I just cut off my Cricut machine. And I am using the actual vinyl, not a stencil. I'm just making sure all the letters stick down to the transfer tape, and one little piece came up, so now I gotta try to push him back down in there. Okay, there he goes. We'll get our image back here. And I will lay him down. Make sure all the letters stick in there. And while we're waiting for that, I'm going to add, I think I'm going to add a white star. Right in here. By the fireworks. Okay, now here's our moment of truth. Let's fill this up. Making sure all our letters stays on the canvas. Oop. Sorry guys, I am just kind of concentrating here to make sure I don't pull up any letters. I had to recut a few of them twice to get it And I'm just pushing down to make sure they're stuck on there. And here is our abstract flag that has the Pledge of Allegiance on it. And I will probably frame my flag. I think I'm going to take and add just a few more fireworks coming off the side here. And then we'll call it done. If you guys decide to make one, share it in our community. We would love to see what you guys create. There you go. Now I will add some, a quick coat of poly over the top of it to help seal in those, the vinyl so it does not peel up, and probably frame it. There you go. Real cute. Simple thing that even the kids can make for 4th of July, Memorial Day. So I hope you enjoyed this project. Like I said, I'll be back on Tuesday to paint a gnome with you guys. So pull out your stencils, your bubble wrap, some crinkly paper, and create something. Let us know what you did.